Hi everyone, this is Noah Sandler from Mtgo Academy, and we're going to be doing a BFZ 8.4 draft today. So let's jump into queue. Okay, we got a Wasteland Strangler, card's very good. Malakir Familiar, United Front Sheer Drop, Channeler. Okay, so passing some okay white and the familiar, but not really too strong of a signal that we're sending. But we'll take the Strangler, and Devoid deck's probably the strongest archetype in the format, so good to start with a strong one. Okay, there's Touch of the Void, Benthic Infiltrator, Turn Against, Catacomb Sifter, and Beastcaller Savant. Also Gideon's Reproach. So we want to take another Devoid card, and kind of a tough pick, kind of close between Infiltrator and Touch of the Void. Touch of the Void probably generally stronger, just overall card, but the Infiltrator does ingest, and we already have a processor. So I think I'm going to take the Infiltrator, and then we're also passing Touch and Turn Against, so and no blues, so that's another slight benefit of taking Infiltrator. But yeah, it's close. I think Touch is a fine pick too. I also prefer blue-black Devoid to the red-black deck just a little bit. They're both strong. Yeah, the standard thought from the pros right now is that green's very bad, so we don't really have to consider the green cards there. We got a Dominator Drone and a Stone Fury. We'll take the Drone, another ingest card. And we see some white, some green, and the Stone Fury. Okay, Spell Shrivel, Molten Nursery, Invoker, Snapping Gnarlid. I think I'm going to take the Spell Shrivel. If you go really deep into Devoid, Molten Nursery could be fine. At least as a sideboard card against 1-toughness creatures. But it will try to be blue-black. And so far, the red coming through seems to be a little better than the blue. But we probably have to fight for it at this point, since we've passed all the red so far. Rising Miasma, Bone Splinters, Demon's Grasp, Merc Strider, Rune Processor. I think I'll just take the Processor. But good to at least see the Merc Strider. Just some sign that blue might be open. And yeah, we're passing some good black cards. Might have to fight for like black-red Devoid with the person on our left if they didn't move into green. So pack 2 might not be that great, but maybe we'll get some good blue in pack 2. Mindraker, and not too much else. Champion Vestige, so take the Raker. So black's definitely open. Salvage Drone, some good red, Swarm Surge, and Veteran War Leader. I mean, pretty strong card, but not too many people want to be green-white. So I could try to move into red at this point. I'm definitely going to fight for it next pack. But instead I think I'm just going to take the Salvage Drone and just stick with blue, hope for some good blue in pack 2. Because if I move into red at this point, I think pack 2 I might get really cut, where if I stay with blue, I think I can probably get decent blue pack 2. Incubator Drone, that's pretty nice to see this late. I mean, I haven't seen any really strong blue cards coming through, but I mean, seeing that in the Spell Shrivel, I think it's enough of a sign that blue isn't being horribly cut from my right. Not gonna play Dutiful Return. So I guess we want to. I mean, this is actually a really good spot to just pass everything, because if the person to my left is, say, between black-red and blue-black Devoid, just giving them a Whiptail, maybe encourages them a little more into red, and then just passing more green. I kind of just want to push people as far into other colors as possible so I can get a decent pack 2. So I'm actually just going to take the Dutiful Return. Probably Spawning Bed over Myra's Malice, but that's kind of close. Malice helps cut a little more, but the bed is quite nice. Does make colorless creatures, so we'll take that. And I think it's easier to end up with, I typically would want to just play one Myra's Malice. I think they're pretty easy to pick up. Spawning Bed's a little more exciting. Altar's Reap. So we're doing pretty good on keeping things colorless. Just every one of our cards, other than the Altar's Reap, is colorless, so yeah, we could definitely take advantage of processors, try to pick up some more ingest cards. We've got 3 right now, plus Spell Shrivel, Exiles, so we're looking pretty good. A little bit afraid of pack 2 having black cut, but we should get blue coming through. And if that's the case, then we just get a good blue pack 2, and then pack 3 we should see more good blue, or good black, and maybe some good blue. So I think our deck could end up pretty strong. Take the Voracious Knoll. Undo Champion. We got a Ruination Guide, and nothing else really, so we'll take that. So Sound Skimmer, Rush of Ice, Anticipate, Mindraker, Evolving Wilds. So yeah, we'll take the guide. Pumps up basically all of our creatures. And here, Blighted Cataract, Cloud Manta, Incubator Drone, Healer, Smoldering Marsh. I'll check how much Marsh is. And then it's Drone versus Cloud Manta. And I probably prefer Cloud Manta. I mean, the drone, it's colorless. It does help you ramp for the rune processor. But with blue-black Devoid, it's more focused on ingesting, so I don't think that it adds too much to the deck. I think just a 3/2 flyer is probably better. Where with red-blue, I think there's more cards that care about having colorless, like having Devoid. We've got Ruination Guide here, which is nice with drone. We already have one drone. But I'll pick up the Mantas, check the Smoldering Marsh. It's probably worth just a ticket. Yep. Desolation Twin. We got Tightening Coils here. Don't think we're gonna ramp into Twin. I mean, the Spawning Bed certainly helps, and yeah, but 10's a lot. Don't really like Retreat. Bone Splinters is also gonna be fine, and Swarm Surge could be worthwhile because we do have basically all colorless creatures. Even considering that, I mean, does this affect something we really want? Just like +2/+0, give you one strong attack? Maybe, maybe not. But they go pretty late, so I'm going to take the coils, which is always going to be good in this deck. Wow, Ulamog's Nullifier is so good. Titan's Presence. I mean, could be decent. We've got a Rune Processor, and then we just have enough colorless creatures. We could remove something small with it, but we definitely take the Nullifier. It's really, really strong processor. Also a Dominator Drone in this pack. Here there's Evolving Wilds, Mindraker, Bone Splinters. Don't mind having a Bone Splinters. We've got Salvage Drone and Incubator Drone that make it not so bad. Also take another Mindraker or Evolving Wilds. And we're not going to have any landfall. I don't know if it, like, Wilds can be a pretty strong card in like red or green decks to give you double landfall. I think I'll still take it. We've got 4/4 drops already, so getting the second Mindraker would kind of cap us out on 4s, and we still have a whole pack to go, so I'll just take the Wilds. Gives us a little fixing. Yeah, nothing here. Maybe Shadow Glider is the best card. Giant Mantis could also be pretty annoying, but I'll take the Glider. We got a Devastator. And nothing else that great. I'll take the Devastator. Sometimes you could run that as a finisher. Dominator Drone, nice to see that. And Silent Skimmer over Rush and Anticipate. Another good colorless creature. So looking pretty good. I would like to get some more ingest cards. So we picked up a lot of processors that pack, but just a Dominator Drone for ingest. So we'll try to pick up some more, especially like the like 2-drop or like another Infiltrator. To just guarantee it'll make it a lot easier because the drone isn't always getting through. So we want stuff that can guarantee that we're going to get stuff to process, because the nullifier is really, really powerful if you can make that work consistently. Same for the Strangler. So looking good for pack 2. I saw more black that pack than I expected to see, and it was nice seeing the nullifier so late. Might mean that there, maybe only one other blue-black deck, and blue-black is one of the best archetypes. So typically, I'd expect a couple people to be blue-black. But yeah, things are looking good. The deck isn't incredibly powerful yet, but it has a lot of potential. If we can just get some more ingesters, I think it could be really good. If for some reason the last pack doesn't turn out well, maybe like enough black got passed through on that pack to push someone into it, then it could have problems. This will take retreat. But overall, looking quite good. We get a Dispel for board. And I'd rather play a Bone Splinters than Altar's Reap. Painful Truths. You draw X cards, lose X life, and recovers mana paid. Yeah, card's pretty good. Might just be the pick. So we pay. It's 3 mana, draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. I mean, I guess it's not that good. We're gonna take Kozilek's Channeler, Oracle of Dust. Doesn't exile in any way. I might just take the Channeler. I mean, if we're going to run Rune Processor, and we might run Devastator, we don't have any 5-drops yet, it's a colorless creature. I think that should be better. We already have a lot of 3-drops as well, so Truths is a little bit awkward. So, not the best first pick, but something we'll play, and might enable us to play some more expensive cards. Horribly Awry, Silent Skimmer, Falling Wilds, not a good pack. Rush of Ice, Salvage Drone. So I guess between Drone and Horribly Awry, I don't like taking too many of the drones. I mean, they are nice on turn 1, and I definitely want more ingesters, but if you have multiples, like, you'll draw them later in the game, and the loot doesn't quite make up for having an almost worthless card. So I don't really want to get like a ton of these. I think I'd rather just go for Horribly Awry and give us a good chance of exiling 1 card, but just much more likely, I think, to hit than just having a Salvage Drone. Drone also might table from that pack. Alright, we got Complete Disregard, pretty easy pickup. Break Over Armies is cool. Looks like black's still open. We've got a Sludge Crawler, that's more of what I'm looking for. It's a lot easier to push through for damage. And we're starting to see some good red and white. And drone. Carry Thrall or Anticipate. Thrall's good with Bone Splinters. Man, we don't have that many 2-drops, so it's a little better here. We could take Anticipate to just try to set up the rest of the deck. Let us find either ways to exile cards or processors. I think Anticipate might be a little bit better. And another Spell Shrivel. Core Home Guide. I guess I'll take another Spell Shrivel. Not super excited about it, but I mean, we're looking to be a little short on exiling cards for how good our processors are. Could use like the 1/2 flyer for 2. Guess we'll take an Oracle here. And I guess a Grave Birthing. Wavewing Elemental would also be okay. I mean, I might just feel a little low on Exile Enablers, and that's a case where Grave Birthing is fine. So I might end up running it here. So we're at 24 right now. Nothing important here. I guess hate a Unified Front. So possible cuts would be Bone Splinters, Devastator. We got a Sound Skimmer, so that's going in. I think we'll cut the Devastator, Bone Splinters. Cut the Patrol, Earthen Arms, maybe Lookout actually. Yeah, so we got some okay stuff in the last pack, but I think it was a little disappointing, considering how good the first pack is. I've seen that Sound Skimmer show up really late. I mean, black was open. We got a Complete Disregard and a Sludge Crawler, but I was looking for a little bit more from that pack. Oh, there's also a Dutiful Return we can cut. Yeah, so we're at, this is 17 lands right now. Maybe cut a Spell Shrivel. Maybe Oracle. That's not that exciting, and I don't expect this deck to be exiling like a ton of cards. So I might cut it with a lot of 3s. We could maybe like leave up Spell Shrivel if they don't cast anything and go for Grave Birthing sometimes. So that might not be so bad. And I guess we don't have any double black or double blue in this deck. So I'm probably just going to cut the Evolving Wilds. I think just potentially missing a turn, and we do have multiple 1-drops. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 5, 7. So we might... I don't think it's that important to fix. I think our mana is going to be pretty good. So I'm just going to leave the Wilds out. If we had some double black or double blue, then I'd be more interested in running it, but unless if we just draw all swamps or all islands, I think we should be able to cast our cards pretty easily. So, yeah, we're at 17. We could go for 18 lands, considering one's a spawning bed, that if you get flooded, you get to sacrifice anyway. Yeah, so how's our deck winning? I mean, if we could land Rune Processor, we have some flyers, Cloud Manta, the Silent Skimmers, the Nullifier. That's pretty much it. Just kind of maybe getting some value off a lot of ingest. But, I don't know, might want something like Devastator. I feel I'm a little short on win conditions. If opponent has a lot of removal, I might not be able to finish a game out. Like Devastator compared to Oracle might just be an upgrade. Though I would want to run 18 lands in that case, so I have to cut another 3. We got 3 minutes left. Could cut Spell Shrivel. I guess Shrivel's probably just better than Grave Birthing. So I'll cut the Birthing. And the rest looks pretty good, so let's go 9 islands, 8 swamps, and submit, and I'll see you for round 1. Okay, ready for round 1. Let's see, opponent is on the play. So we got a 2-lander, but it's a pretty strong one. We don't have blue, but if we have a land, we can go complete disregard followed up with Strangler. So we can kill 2 smallish things and have a 3/2 in play. And then, I mean, we do have a pretty nice late game. Channeler into Rune Processor, plus a spawning bed. And once we get an island, Tightening Coils could also slow things down a little bit. Okay, Spell Shrivel, not the most exciting draw. If opponent's draw is really slow, we get an island, it actually could be decent. Hope, ooh, missed Intruder. Hope we can find an answer to that. Not yet. So opponent's gonna get 1 ingest, and then we can complete disregard it. Ooh, they hit our nullifier. Hagra Sharpshooter. That's not much of a problem. Okay, yeah, while they're tapped out, let's get rid of the intruder. Okay, Mindraker, kind of annoying. It's gonna hit something decent. So it could be Spell Shrivel or Tightening Coils, pretty much. I think I'm gonna pitch the Shrivel. Coils could stop something large. And, I mean, we don't have blue yet, so we might not have blue up the turn that we need it. So, let's go for Strangler. And, kind of a close decision. I mean, 3/3 versus 3/2. Both of them might trade with the Strangler. If the game goes super long, they could get some value out of the Sharpshooter, but I think I'm just going to kill the 3/3. The ability, it just takes their whole turn to use, so not that frightened by it, but I mean, there's definitely a chance that it'd be better to play this differently. So yeah, let's crash in for 3. The opponent might just minus the Strangler if they don't want to trade yet, but they also might trade. And they don't minus? Huh. I mean, I guess if they want to counter the Channeler, I think that's okay, because then my processor is not going to get countered. Yep. Like, I don't really like just passing there, even if you're like sure that they have spell shrivel. Because I mean, we're only one draw of a land away from resolving processor, and the 4/4 compared to a 7/8 is just like a lot. I'm just cool with that getting countered. There's spots where, because we're ahead on board, we can just keep attacking and force opponent to tap out to resolve the channeler. But yeah, I'm okay with that here. I do want to consider Myers Malice. So is opponent going to stride my Strangler? I guess they do. I mean, it's a little scary. But probably just going to recast it so we don't take too much damage. I mean, considering I have no other cards, that just doesn't make that much sense to me. Like, I have no cards exiled. Opponent could, not remove a card with the Strider, and then their future processors now have something to eat up. Like, did they gain that much by returning my Strangler there? Like, I can still block this turn. I don't think they really gain too much from that. So, I will block here. I think they might have wanted to send the sharpshooter in there as well. Oh, they go for post-combat drone, so I don't take 2 damage. So I think they're playing a little bit loose. I mean, I might be able to use that information in the future. That they're kind of just throwing their cards out there. So we got a 7/8. Hopefully that's good enough. You can also make some 1/1s and go for a silent skimmer if they have removal for the processor. Hopefully they don't have Grip of Desolation. So the Carrier Thrall, that'll buy them a couple turns of time. So let's get in with processor, and I think we just go for the silent skimmer. I am a little worried about Grip. Like losing the spawning bed, though. I mean, I guess very slowly the spawning bed could get picked off for multiple turns. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they didn't block there. I guess they're trying to get a bunch of creatures in play to take it down. We'll go for the skimmer. If they had Grip, they probably would have blocked so they can have a spawn token to sacrifice. Just guarantee that it would hit. I guess I could have another spell shrivel. Okay, scatter. Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy to trade for the scatter there. So 5, 7, 8. And yeah, if I attack, they put everything on it. They use the sharpshooter. They can take out the processor. But they're attacking me. I mean, that's fine, but I guess they get to ingest out of it. But I do have the spawning beds, so they're probably not going to be able to kill me. And now I got island here. So I'm going to crack for 7. I guess they can hit the drone with the sharpshooter. It does force them to tap out here. I mean, I don't know what else they're doing. I mean, I get to loot, but looting doesn't accomplish too much. So I'm actually just gonna pass here. Like if I play drone, it's a free shoot. So, but like next turn, if I play drone, I can get some value out of it because I'll have some tokens in play possibly. Plus, if I draw a card I don't need, I could like I'm more likely to be able to get a good loot out of it dying. Like right now I don't really care to lose the tightening coils. So opponent, I go for a moderate attack. So let's spawning bed, I think. I mean, I could just take the hit, then sack spawning bed, end a turn, and make a big attack back. It's not necessarily going to kill them. So, the question is what we do with these tokens. We can put them all on the sharpshooter. I think that's pretty good. So opponent is going to get to ingest a second card, but they've already ingested one. They only have 2 cards in hand, so I don't think that it's going to be too bad to let them ingest one more. And by blocking the sharpshooter, I mean, we get rid of it, which is nice, so it protects our future 1 toughness creatures. And also we get to save an extra scion. Like if we put 2 on the Dominator drone, opponent could just sharpshoot and keep it alive. So this way we get to keep an extra scion on play. What is this? Okay, well, I guess they're just going to use their turn to kill one of these. So, yeah, I mean, if they want to use their turn, they can kill 1 extra token. Oh, they hit the Devastator. That sucks. Oh, I guess I can't cast this turn anyway. Sludge Crawler is a pretty nice draw. So let's attack with Processor. Just get that first token out of the way. And then we get to decide what to do here. We go for Sludge Crawler. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can pump it up to a 4/4. So we can go for tightening coils on the drone. Kind of depends what we're trying to play around. If the opponent has a piece of removal for the crawler, we could go to 1, which I don't really want that to happen. If they have nothing, I'm pretty happy just passing with all this mana up, basically preventing an attack. I could also go for a salvage drone or tightening coils on the drone. I mean, I still might like tightening coils for something else opponent might play, like a death touch creature or big flyer. I think I'm just gonna throw the drone out and just see what opponent does. Like, they need to have multiple creatures back to deal with the Sludge Crawler and the Processor. So if they attack with the drone, I mean, I'll just chump with my drone, get to loot. Should overall work pretty well in my favor. I mean, it's not quite as good as the other 2 plays at just like taking a 1-for-1, because I am going to just throw away the drone here if they attack. But if they don't attack, it also just gives me an extra attacker. Like if they have no play here, I can send everything. They're going to have to chump the crawler and the processor, and I get in for free damage with the drone. And I get an ingest off that, which is still relevant, depending on what I draw. So, I mean, I'm taking like a marginally weaker line against my opponent's current board. Uh-oh. Okay, Cloud Manta. So glad I still have the coils. Yeah, opponent has to hold back here. So I basically got a free salvage drone into play. Island, so 2, 4, 6, 8. I think the play... Well, let's see. So we can make this a 5/5. I do not mind if opponent wants to trade for the crawler in any way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so the play is attack with processor and crawler. And then after opponent blocks, I can make pumps, and they're probably going to have 1 creature back, like just the Manta left over, and then I can coils it. They could also do a double block to try to kill the crawler, and that's also fine. Like killing 2 more creatures is 2 more chump blockers down. I mean, a weird block they could make is put Dominator Drone and Scion on the crawler, but they can't do that. They're taking 7, so yeah, this will work out pretty great. So make this a 4/4, and then we get to tightening coils on the Manta. So opponent's basically not going to have a board. They get one more chump because the Cloud Manta is still in play, so they can chump the processor with that next turn. But now we're not concerned about taking any damage. So ship the turn back. So if they draw a chump blocker, we can send everything. We get 1 damage in with the drone, and then just have to pump Sludge Crawler however much based on what they're chumping with. But yep, that'll do it. So I guess we were fighting with them a little bit this draft. I mean, they got the Miss Intruder. That is something that we were sorely missing. Don't care too much about these 4-mana processors. Those are easy to come by. So far it doesn't look like they took too much from another Dominator Drone, which it'd be nice, but it's not really what we're missing. We've got enough solid, like, devoid 3-drops. Okay, we got Dispel. They had that counterspell, they had the other counterspell. I don't know if that's enough for Dispel. And our main deck's pretty good. Altar's Reap. Can be cool if they're trying to exile one of your creatures and you just put in the graveyard instead. Salvage Drone's probably pretty good if they have like cheap ingesters. Spell Shrivels are fine. They're a little slow though against an ingest deck. Yeah, we're probably good. They didn't seem to have too much to deal with Devastator or Processor, so I'm going to keep the Devastator in. And alright. Run it back. Alright, this hand is great. I mean, we only have 2 1-drop ingest cards. We got both of them. So we'll start with the Sludge Crawler. It's most likely to get through on turn 2. Opponent sends us a message. He's always seen the first match as a mirror matchup. That's probably just him. But, I mean, blue-black is a pretty common archetype in this format, so I'm not surprised to see another deck in the first round. Hopefully they don't have a Carrier Thrall. I think that'd be their best counter. They have a Salvage Drone and a Sludge Crawler. That's interesting. Very interesting. I think I just attack with Crawler, and if they block with Drone, I pump. If not, I'll just let them take it. And then, okay, they just take it. Let's get to ingest. Hit a Mindraker. And yeah, we'll play Salvage Drone. And then we'll just trade Drone for Drone if they attack. And then we'll complete disregard the Crawler. So we loot. Probably just discard a Swamp. Could discard Anticipate. It is a little bit awkward, and we do just want to draw lands right now. We have the Rune Processor. You could discard the Processor, but I mean, I don't see any reason why this game won't take a long time. Cloud Manta could be pretty good. Yeah, let's discard a swamp. I think it's close between that and anticipate. And they hit Benthic Infiltrator. That would have been a good draw. So they might have, if they just pass, they might have Spell Shrivel. Let's go for Dominator Drone. So, draw another 4-drop. So now, yeah, have an extra land would definitely be better. I might just disregard that. Get in with the Crawler. Just keep ingesting. Hit Painful Truths. So we might get punished here. We don't draw the land, then that keeping the Anticipator of the swamp could suck. What'd they just do? Oh, they just pumped a few times. Alright, land. Ruination Guide. That's fine. So now we're winning the race. Hit Wavewing Elemental. That's a good hit, I suppose. Don't actually have a way to deal with it. Opponent might want to sit back and just play defense. Keep taking the hits. It's okay to trade there as well. We lose Strangler. That sucks. Okay, Merc Strider. Bounce Guide. Oh, they bounce the Crawler. Okay. I guess I see that. They don't want me to attack and get a free ingest. I don't know if I agree with that. Land. Really want it here. Nope. Drone's pretty good though. Or we could go Crawler. Yeah, I probably want to go Crawler Anticipate. Make sure we get that land that we need. I guess we Anticipate now. We could hit our 5th land drop afterwards. Island is good. So if opponent has a land, they can pump Crawler to 4/4. Okay, they do. Hopefully they just attack with Crawler and pump it all the way, and then we can Mindraker their last card. So definitely take the hit. Please pump the whole way. Good. F6. Okay, so can attack with Sludge Crawler. I mean, we've gotten enough ingest, so I think we'll just cast Mindraker. It can hold off the Sludge Crawler, and then our Sludge Crawler can hold off the Merc Strider. And that Scour from Existence. They're one off from casting that, so that's pretty cool. So we'll pass, and things are looking really good. If they don't draw like that, the Awaken counterspell, that would be a pretty good draw for them here. So we're going to be just casting stuff the next few turns, tapping out. But we're already looking pretty good on board. Okay, Demon's Grasp. It's annoying. Do we trade off Raker? Oh, they didn't attack. They should have attacked there. Force like a good spot. Trading Raker for Strider is good for them. So go Dominator Drone, be able to pump the Crawler. We could double block their Crawler if they attack. I think that's good. It's also a reasonable spot just to send our Crawler. If they send the Merc Strider, we trade, and that's pretty even. Otherwise we get some damage in. I think I like that. And obviously I should attack first once I decided that play. Okay. Hit a swamp. Alright. Attack with both. Double block the crawler. So pretty happy to make that trade. This opponent does have 2 counter spells. So normally it's just like, let's play complete defense until we can cast Rune Processor. And if we do just rip 2 lands here, yeah, maybe we can resolve it anyway. So yeah, with the Carrier Thrall, we're not doing great on attacks. If we go for Silent Skimmer, we can hold off our opponent for a full turn. If we go for Cloud Manta, we can start attacking for more, but we have to make an unexciting trade for the Thrall. I guess at some point we're going to have to do that anyway, but... So I'm going to go with the Manta. So I think it's inevitable that we're going to have to... I guess unless if we just leave Silent Skimmer back for multiple turns. Maybe that was just the correct play. Okay, Sharpshooter. So now we got to protect our Sludge Crawler. So we'll just keep leaving 2 lands up no matter what we draw. Nullifier, not a bad draw. Well, we attack for 3 here. Could get awkward on the swing back if we're just sitting back on like Spell Shrivel or Nullifier. This opponent can just make a big attack. I mean, I wouldn't love trading with the Manta anyway. I guess at minimum we can just chump with, or like trade the Crawler for the Thrall. Like the Crawler is not that exciting with the Sharpshooter out, so this might not be that bad. Like if my opponent taps out to Sharpshoot the Crawler pre-combat, I'll just pump it. And if they make a big attack, I'll just throw a Crawler in front of something and just force them to interact with the Sharpshooter, or give me a good trade. Like if they just draw a land here, yeah, they can attack with everything, but I can put Crawler and pump some mana into it. And then once I pump once with it, the opponent can use Sharpshooter, and then I'll just pump again, they'll be tapped out. So I'm not really losing anything. So we'll see what they do. I can probably go to 4 life. 2 life is where I could die to a Dominator Drone. But 4 should be reasonable, so... I could also just stay higher and just make like 2 blocks here. Yeah, maybe I will. Just like that. I mean, I can take some life to keep my drone in play, but it kind of feels like at some point I'm going to need to trade off. So opponent gets a token, and I'm probably just going to Nullifier EOT. It gives me almost a 2-turn clock. I mean, hopefully they don't have the Awaken card. That would be pretty bad if they just drew that. But I think I gotta go for this. I mean, I'm behind on board. I can't just, you know, play around the Awaken card the entire time. And it looks like they didn't have it. Draw a land. So, if we attack with both, they can use sharpshooters, so they only go to 5. And then if they leave up mana next turn, they could make sure they don't die. So then we could like leave up Spell Shrivel. But I think I want to go for Silent Skimmer. So I guess we'll start with Silent Skimmer. If they for some reason still have that Awaken card, then we would actually die if they used it. Like if we attack with both first, they took it, and then we used it. We cast Skimmer, they used it, they would attack for 6 back, we would die, so we do not want that. We do die to a Rush of Ice, haven't seen one. And we do need to attack with both if we want to win next turn. If we want lethal next turn, so we gotta attack with both here. So they go to 5, and they need to draw something pretty good. I mean, again, like Rush of Ice, that kills us. But most things we're going to be able to beat. We just swing with everything in the air. And on our turn, we'd have Spell Shrivel, and with the land, we could have Rune Processor too. So, yep, that'll do it. And I'll see you for round 2. Okay, ready for round 2. So we're facing G-Man Sokol, a very strong player, been around for a while, and we will play first. So it should be a good match. It's a pretty skill-intensive format, and it's always fun to play against a tough player, see what interesting situations come about. This hand is quite good. Opponent's going to keep 7. We'll put the processor on the bottom, and start with the Sludge Crawler. So I mean, it's really hard to aggro people out in this format, but this kind of draw might do it. If we get in with the Crawler on turn 2, and then we can find our 3rd land, we can use Wasteland Strangler, knock out a creature. We hit a Herald of Kozilek, probably a good thing. So Korlholm Guide. Good, got there. I don't mind trading the Crawler for the Guide, so I'm going to send that in. Well, let's see. I mean, I guess I don't have to make this trade here. I mean, at some point I could pump it up to 3/3. But the Guide can block the Dominator Drone, could block the Strangler, so I think overall I'm pretty happy to get that out of the way. I do think that my turn 3 play is going to be Dominator Drone. It ingests similarly to Benthic Infiltrator, but if opponent plays a creature with 3 toughness or less, I could go for Strangler. So opponent just takes it. I would hit Oracle Dust. I mean, I guess since they take it, the Dominator Drone play is not quite as good. So I don't want to have to waste the Strangler ability on the Guide if there's something better I could hit. So I think I just run out Infiltrator right now. And I might end up using Strangler on the Guide at some point. So they have Molten Nursery. It's kind of a scary card. Now I can see, I mean, they didn't want to kill a Sludge Crawler since they're going to ping it next turn. So let's get in with both. And just play a Dominator Drone. Ooh, hit a Rolling Thunder. Can't complain about that. If opponent has like a touch of whatever it's called, that burn spell could kill the Crawler and the Dominator Drone with 1 card. Something like that could really, yeah, they have Touch of the Void. So yeah, it's a pretty strong play. I mean, we still have a lot going for us with our draw, and that's nice. So we can go for Drone or Skimmer. Hit a mountain. Seems kind of close. Drone looks pretty good against opponent's board right now. But again, any color spell kills the 1/1 token. So I'm just going to go with Skimmer. And if opponent attacks with their guide, I think I'm just going to take it. They might be getting 2 free damage in. I guess here they have Looming Spires on the guide, so it's even more likely. I mean, now it's almost for sure that they're going to be able to take out the Skimmer if I block, so I'm just going to take the 3. I mean, we're definitely way ahead for racing purposes. Okay, Merc Strider. That's worth using the Strangler on to kind of get some tempo back. Do I do that? Could also Incubator Drone. Gives me a 2/3. Can maybe trade that off with Strider. 1/1 just dies. So yeah, the Strangler might just trade with the guide. But I think it's time. So we'll go in with the Infiltrator. We might lose a little bit of damage with this. We hit another mountain. Because the opponent can just attack back with the guide and then maybe have a good creature black to block the Strangler. But yeah, it's a guaranteed one. We're not sure what the opponent's going to do. Stone Fury. Okay, so yeah, we trade 1 damage for 2. It's not the end of the world. Now they have 2 cards in hand. I feel pretty safe going for the Silent Skimmer. Again, I could keep the Infiltrator back, but I want to keep the pressure on. The late game, they have Molten Nursery out. They have the Spawning Bed to sacrifice. So I think I want to just keep the pressure on. And I think I'm okay risking... I guess I'll play the land. I should have left up like blue and black. I'm okay risking the Silent Skimmer here if they have 2 color spells. They have another Stone Fury. Okay. 1 card left in hand. So now it's looking kind of tough. Well, I mean, I have the Incubator Drone, so don't necessarily have to stay on defense. And now I got the Channeler. That's really good. I think I just keep making this trade. I mean, they have 1 card in hand. If they have nothing, they get to make a bunch of 1/1s, so... And plus, at some point they can start making a guy unblockable anyway. So I just want to put as much pressure on as possible. Every damage point might count. And yeah, you know, I have given up some damage making these trades. That might come to bite me in the end. But I think the game's going to favor me if the opponent gets slowed down. Or sorry, if I speed up my clock, because they just should have the late game a little bit better than me. Cloud Manta is quite nice. Could even cast both of these cards. Opponent's gonna make 3 1/1s. If I attack with both, they could go for a trade, or they could just jump 1, or they could take it and make a big swing back. The question is, I mean, do I want to just dump my hand tapping the Channeler or attack with it to get in? If they trade the guide and 2 Spawning Bed tokens, they'll just have a 1/1 left, and like that looks pretty good for me. So I think I'm cool just sending both of these. And if I do take out 1 token, I also think that's fine. I'll probably just go with the Incubator Drone in that case, to have the best blocking potential for next turn. Hit a Touch of the Void. If I go with Manta, I can't really block that well. But going for Drone, I mean, opponent can ping the spawn with any colorless spell, but the 2/3 is going to be really good at holding off their board. If they do kill the 2/3, unless if they play like another Touch of the Void, which, I mean, at that point they probably want to kill my Channeler. Casting something big, Breaker of Armies. That's pretty scary. That is very scary. It's not what I wanted to see. Spell Shrivel would have been pretty nice there. So I guess I'm dead. They just make it unblockable. Well, I'm at 10. Yep. Dead. I mean, I guess I'll play it out. Getting for 1. So, yeah, I mean, if I wasn't at 10, could maybe win. But, yeah, so, I don't know. It's going to be pretty close. If I didn't do those damage trades, because I did get, I fell to exactly 10. Although, opponent did kill my Scion when, if I was at 11, they would have just pinged me with the damage, and the 1/1 wouldn't have affected things, so yeah, close game. Their deck looks really strong. They have multiple Stone Furies, Rolling Thunder, 2 Touch of the Void, Herald, Sentinel, that Breaker of the Armies. The Touch of the Void is a sorcery, so you can't counter it with Dispel. Bone Splinters, that's probably going to be good here. Just a way to deal with that Breaker. And maybe a Spell Shrivel or Horribly Awry. I think Spell Shrivel can go. What about the Devastator? I think Devastator's fine. Okay. We'll play first. Yeah, shame to lose after having such a good start. So this hand's fine. Okay, can probably anticipate for a spell here, since we've got 4 mana. Alright, Kozilek Sentinel. Ooh. I hope I can shuffle somehow. This is really strong. I mean, I think Strangler's probably just the best card to get here. But it really sucks for putting so much power on the bottom of our deck. Horribly Awry. Okay, I think the play here is just pass. And we could maybe use Horribly Awry if they play something like that 2/4. We play Nettle Drone. Do I want to counter here? I guess I can counter and just play Mindraker and kind of go from there. I could let it resolve, play disregard on the Sentinel, and then strangle the next turn, but then I'm left with Horribly Awry in my hand, and yeah, there's only so many opportunities to counter cheap creatures that are going to be worthwhile. But the situation is kind of awkward since I can't use Strangler on the Sentinel. But yeah, I'm going to use Horribly Awry here. I just think like being able to get a solid 1-for-1 off of it is a little more important than setting up a good situation for next turn. So let's actually, I like Mineraker here. Let's just make sure, yeah. So, good to get a card out of opponent's hand, which, you know, they have, 8 mana card, they have Rolling Thunder, so any card I get is going to be pretty useful. Okay, Molten Nursery. So here I can go for Ruination Guide and get in for 4. I can also complete Disregard, which sets up the Strangler, but I think I go for Guide. Only problem with Guide is, yeah, I might just get killed by something. It's kind of a high value target. But I like getting in the extra damage here. It's nice for tempo. Might just take a Stone Fury or Touch the Void. I guess Rolling Thunder, alright. Seems fair. So disregard. Cool if we draw a swamp next turn. Oracle of Dust. That's kind of awkward. Incubator Drone. Excuse me. We have nothing exiled. Let's have a 3/5. I mean, I do not want to just trade like Strangler to finish it off yet. So I'm gonna just develop my board a bit. Let's see, do I want to go Incubator or Dominator? Maybe I just go Dominator. Incubator gives me some more mana maybe, but the opponent's probably just gonna kill with the Nursery, the Sapperling, or the Scion token. So, like if they have a colorless spell, they're probably gonna play it regardless. And if I have the token in play, it kind of just gives them a free ping. So, I don't know. Alright, we did get the extra swamp. In this spot, I think it's okay to go Dominator Drone, pre-combat. And yeah, I think I attack both. They might have a Stone Fury here. I could also wait one turn, but because I get to have the Strangler in play, I think it's worth it. I guess getting countered here would suck. I didn't really consider that. Opponent's going to Stone Fury. That's why they left the Ingester up. Okay. Alright, 6 damage in play, they're at 9. They got 5 lands. Spawning Bed, if they have something else here, Spawning Bed could be really good for them. Buy them a lot of time. If they get another land. Like if they have like another Stone Fury here, plus next turn they get to make a bunch of 1/1s, they could definitely recover. Yeah, they have Stone Fury. Okay, so Tightening Coils, yeah, I don't have the land for my Spawning Bed, so get them to 6. I don't know, they might be able to recover. It's similar to last game. 1 card in hand. And at least I have Tightening Coils for Breaker of Armies. Looks like they don't have that 7th land. A Nettle Drone. Bone Splinters. It's pretty good with the spawning bed. Do I tightening coils to save one of my creatures, basically? And like, because I have the Bone Splinters still, I'm not dying to Breaker Armies, so I think this is worth it. And if opponent like doesn't have a land, I guess they're going to have a spell of some type. But I mean, there's some potential. Like, we are putting lethal forward. Okay, yeah, I just took it. So they're going to try to get some value off the Nettle Drone. Get some pings out of it. Well, we got our land, so yep, it's looking really good for us. Like, end of turn spawning bed is going to be huge. So opponent gets to decide what to do here. They can put all 3 spawning beds on the drone, and then the Nettle Drone in front of my Strangler. Lets them keep a 1/1 in play against my 3/2. Of course, no matter what, I'm going to play Swamp, and I'm going to get 3 1/1s end of their turn. That should be really hard for them to beat. They could put 2 Scions. Yeah, it looks like they're going to do the 3 on that, and then the drone on the Strangler. I think that's probably the best way to block. Otherwise, they could put 2 on the Strangler, but this seems right. Sign blocking order. Okay, looks like I got it. Alright, on to game 3. So, didn't see much else. Second Nettle Drone. Bone Splinter is definitely not the greatest, but I like just having that extra thing for if they do get their Breaker of Armies. And they can definitely beat me without it if they just get Nettle Drones and Molten Nursery out and just keep pinging away, but yeah, Breaker does seem kind of important. And I guess Dispel hits Stone Fury. I think that's an instant. I mean, for 1 mana, that could be pretty cool. But if I've only seen a couple things it hits, it's a little inconsistent. If I have any just like 1 toughness creatures that don't do much, Salvage Drone. Yeah, help against the Nursery, but I think I'm good. Okay, solid hand. I do want to start my curve off on 1, but I only have 2 1-drops, so it is one of the problems of this exact deck. So opponent's on 6, scries to the bottom, tightening coils. I guess coils isn't particularly great in this matchup. It's fine against Breaker of Armies, sort of. So this is kind of awkward. You know, so do I leave up like a Spell Shrivel, or probably just going to cast the Dominator Drone, and I might be able to ingest with it. I don't think opponent has too many things they can cast here. I mean, if Looming Spires was their 3rd land, they might have Herald of Kozilek or something. Okay, Nettle Drone. If I go, yeah, I think I just go another Dominator Drone. So I guarantee the 2 damage, and maybe get an ingest. It's not worth going for Bone Splinters, like, to guarantee the ingest, but hopefully I can get some ingest here. I don't have any processors other than the Rune processor, so it's not vitally important that I get in for start X-Lane cards. I also have the Spell Shrivel to remove. So they just drew their 4th land. They could Rolling Thunder for 2. Okay, Touch of the Void, sure. Ruination Guide. I think the mana is more important. So I think I actually just go for Guide here. I could also just pass and like Spell Shrivel something, but I think I go for Guide. Just threaten to ingest, so force some kind of removal, or maybe a good creature out of opponent's hand. If they do just play land in that 3/5, that would definitely suck. But, you know, they'd have to draw the land and have the 3/5 in hand. But if I can get like a Stone Fury, a Rolling Thunder for 2, another Touch of the Void, I'd be pretty happy with this. Maybe another Nettle Drone, okay. So here, do I go for the Tightening Coils? I think I do. I get to hold up Spell Shrivel. It's just enough efficiency with my mana. So, gives me the ingest here, probably. Okay. So, ingest is good. We got one. I mean, with just the Rune Processor in our hand, it doesn't look like it's that important to get ingests, but we have still a lot of processors in our deck. The one that makes them discard, the Strangler, -3, -3. Alright, Molten Nursery. I'm going to Spell Shrivel that. I think it's just done too much over the games and gives us a second exiled card. Okay, one away from Rune Processor could be really big. I mean, opponent has Stone Fury, but that's not big enough to kill it. Alright, let's see what we've hit here. Okay. It's possible I should just save the Shrivel, but I think the Molten Nursery over the course of a game can do enough damage. So another drone hit. Looks like he might go for Vile Aggregate. Gives him a good blocker. Coral Home Guide. So nothing to deal with the Manta yet. Good, we drew the land. So Processor is going to be massive. Let's get in with the Manta. Processor is actually an 8/8 with the Ruination Guide. So land in the graveyard, we get up to 21. And, I mean, that's a beating. Okay, Rush of Ice. We can get in for 3 damage here. That's pretty aggressive. I mean, I think I gotta take it. Just swing right back. So they get to ingest, a Silent Skimmer, Incubator Drone. That's a very solid draw here. I could even Bone Splinters, like the land wouldn't even be that bad off the token. The token's a 2/1, which is kind of cool. So I mean, opponent might chump with their drone, or probably take the hit, but then the Cloud Manta might kill him. If I Bone Splinters the land, well, okay, so opponent's blocking here. One more ping. So it's 6. I mean, killing the land means that they can't immediately Stone Fury to kill my Manta, which seems pretty useful. I mean, a 2/1 and then having the Bone Splitters left over is cool. I mean, also killing the Vile Aggregate's nice. It opens some things up, but yeah, I got this 8/8 in play. I don't think it's getting dealt with without opponent having a ton of mana. So yeah, I think kill the land and I think I just about got this. Herald of Kozilek, not going to do it. We got the extra land. So, getting in there with Manta and Processor. They got to chump and go to 3. So they got to have an answer to the Manta, and even if they get that, they're gonna have to chump for a turn. So I guess if they have like turn against, no, they don't have it. So looks like we're on to the finals. So yeah, very good match. Yeah. Not too much else to say about that, but there were a lot of close decisions in that match, and they pulled out a pretty close one in the first game, but we were able to come back. So, cool. On to finals. Okay, ready for finals. So we will play first, and keep this. Hand's pretty strong. A little awkward with the Sludge Crawler and the Horribly Awry. But, I mean, yeah, turn 1, Sludge Crawler on the play is really, really good in this format. Ooh, Ruination Guide 2? Yeah, I mean, it sort of telegraphs things, but I don't want them playing like a Beast Caller Savant or something on turn 2. Worst case scenario, I miss out on 1 damage. I'm getting an extra damage with the guide here. I mean, this game is already looking so good if they don't have a good turn 2 play. I get my Nullifier turned on. We hit Watcher in a Forest. And wow, they don't have a turn 3 play. This is really close to over. So here, I think I go for a 1 pump and just keep up Horribly Awry. I mean, they gotta play a 4-drop next turn. They haven't played one so far, so this should. Whoa, Omnath and Carrier Thrall. Interesting. I mean, this should be very telegraphed that I have Horribly Awry here, but what are they gonna do? And yeah, they just concede. So yeah, I mean, these are the starts, like Sludge Crawler into Guide into Nullifier. This is what Blue-Black Ingest is all about, and why it might be the best archetype in the format, up there with the Blue-Red Devoid that we just beat. So playing a green deck, I mean, let's put the Bone Splinters in, I suppose. Like, they already have some massive mythic, which Bone Splinters might not even beat. I think that card has landfall, but it has such a restrictive casting cost. Omnath has such a restrictive casting cost that it's hard for them to play it and landfall in the same, like, after they play it. They might have needed to just drawn their, they might have just drawn their second mountain. They can finally play it. So yeah, I want the Bone Splinters in, and I guess I did really show the Horribly Awry there if he was paying a lot of attention. So it might get a little weaker if he's putting me on it. Might just cut his Spell Shrivel. To be on the draw, I think Horribly Awry might be a little more important, just to counter a 3-drop. And there it is. Don't have black mana yet, but we have a lot of turns to draw it, so I think this hand's a keep. It's pretty solid if we do draw into a swamp, and we've got plenty of sources. Unfortunate to draw an island there, but we've got many draws at 8 sources of black, plus having the counter up. Cloud Manta, it's at least something to do. Hope we can counter a Catacomb Sifter here. Nope. Another island. That's pretty unfortunate. Return, holding up counter. Smoldering Marsh. Alright, got a cast in here. Got the swamp. I think I threw out Silent Skimmer. uses up the black mana, which might become relevant in future turns. It potentially blocks the Thrall. I mean, I think I want to do that. You know, if they have that, they have Kozilek's Channeler. This is kind of a scary start. They could play something really big. Either way, gotta just keep bashing. So we could go for Manta, or we could go for Drone plus Horribly Awry. I mean, nothing we do seems to really beat them playing a large Eldrazi next turn. I don't think they're likely to play... They could play a smaller creature, but I think I'm just gonna... Well, I guess if I go with Drone, next turn I can go Manta, hold up Awry. So I'll just go with Drone. So this lets me just hold up Horribly Awry for 2 turns straight. I'll get a little less damage in, most likely. So this could be Omnath. Alright, just attack for 4, we'll take it. Deathless Behemoth. Okay, that's pretty scary. Spell Shrivel, that's what I wanted. Well, that sucks. Spell Shrivel is really what I want to keep up, but gotta keep casting stuff if I'm gonna win this game. And the Rune Processor could be nice. I mean, really hope I can... This doesn't have reach, right? Okay. Really hope I can counter something with Horribly Awry so I can get the Rune Processor 5 life. That could be really key. Possibly taking a ton of damage. They leave back the Channeler, so I think I just double block. I mean, they might be able to get it back at some point, but I'm either chumping, so you know, it seems like I might just trade the Manta for a 6/6. Definitely seems worth it. I mean, they didn't send the Channeler, so it looks like they're casting something huge this turn. Yep, Omnath and play land. Yep. That's pretty rough. Whenever a land enters the battlefield, whenever they die, it deals 3 damage to your player. Okay. It's not good. Incubator Drone. Yep, I think that'll do it. I can almost make this worth playing out, but I mean, when these things die, they ping me for 3 each. As a land gets another, I'm just gonna pack it in. So, I mean, I guess I'll put the Spell Shrivel back, just because he's got... I mean, I definitely want it. He's got so many expensive creatures. And I think I'll cut the Horribly Awry. Seems he's playing around it enough, potentially, so... I definitely want the Bone Splinters. So get to be on the play here should definitely help. And yeah, that was a pretty slow draw that we had. And sure. Sort of similar to our last hand, but we have the mana to cast things, so it looks a lot better. And the Spell Shrivels are pretty awkward when we have so many 3-drops. Like, you can't really justify keeping them up on 3, but it can be good against this opponent because they just have so many expensive cards. Okay. We'll go for Drone on turn 3. Try to get into Ingest. Ouch, Carathral's kind of a beating. Can also just play Ruination Guide. I think I want to do that actually. Like, I haven't seen much removal from our opponent. I mean, if they just attack with everything and don't put a creature back, you know, same situation. Okay, they have complete disregard. Hadn't seen that. So, I mean, that makes the play a little worse. We'll go for a silent skimmer. We're curving out. But it would have been better if I had the guide out when I had the silent skimmer out. And okay, we'll block here. Hope they don't have that +2/+2 counters card. Eyeless Watcher. Yeah, unfortunately I really can't sit back here for Spell Shrivel. I'm taking way too much damage. So I gotta throw something out there. It's gonna be the Dominator Drone. I mean, if I knew they were gonna cast some Eldrazi, I'd wait, but I gotta wait until I draw one more land, but I just don't think I can do it. And I think I have to hold back the skimmer here. So hopefully they can't drop something huge. I mean, there are a lot of cards that they might not be able to cast this turn, but it looks like they have something bad. Is it Behemoth? Yeah, that sucks. I mean, because obviously spell shriveling that would be really nice. Bone Splinters, though. I guess we Splinters a skimmer after attacking with it. Let's see. Alright, we'll just take 2 here. That's not so bad. Brood Monitor, okay. Spell Shrivel. Might be coming back here. So we attack with Drone, they block with Pod and Watcher. It's not very good. I think I want to keep the card out for Rune Processor. I mean, it's tough though, like they're going to get Behemoth back eventually. The Processor can hold off anything for a little bit. In the meantime, what do I do? Like, I don't really want to play Strangler. I'd probably just pass. Like, I could get some use out of Strangler later. I could also just kill a Scion with Strangler, which, you know, sort of holds my opponent back a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I do want the 5 life off the Processor. And killing a Scion's sort of good. It slows down them getting back the Behemoth. They've got to lose the Pod and the Thrall for that. But I don't get the 5 life. I gotta ingest something else. I mean, maybe the 5 life isn't that important. Alright. I'll go with Strangler, kill a Scion. Yeah, I'll just pass. Trade-off here is just not quite good enough. Okay, Catacomb Sifter, that is really annoying. Opponent's deck is really good. I don't think I'd be that disappointed to lose to it. Alright, let's throw out a 7/8. And sit back, hope to draw some flyers or something. But, you know, opponent has infinite chumps. Oh, Bone Splinters, that's a beating. Yeah, their deck's really good. You know, no one wanted to play green. They might have that that 3/3 Brood, like Brood Mother or something. The black green 5 mana rare. So yeah, I'll just keep taking hits. This will be tough. And I can get the behemoth back, and then I really don't have much else I can do. I could draw the 8/9 trampler. It's about as much as I could hope for. Oh, well, I mean, I'll definitely trade off for that. Not sure why they're making that attack. I don't know, that seems kind of bad. They have another sifter. Yeah, I guess that's okay. Helps a little bit. Alright, sludge crawler, that's pretty good. Still in a lot of trouble, of course. I got 8 mana, so I can make crawler a 6/6, so it could actually take out the Deathless Behemoth. But, I mean, opponent's getting so many scries. I know they still have that that red-green card left, Omnath. I mean, they don't have any red mana yet, but they're going to have a lot of time and a lot of scries. Titan's Presence revealing Deathly Behemoth. Well, that'll do it. Creature powerless 1, 2, 3. Okay. Their deck is just good. So, block here, take 5, and looks like I'm gonna die. But yeah, I'm pretty happy to make the finals with this deck. I mean, it's a great archetype. We had some pretty cool games, did some powerful things, but I do think that the deck lacked. Like, it didn't really come together in the third pack. I struggled to find more good ingest creatures, or some like really powerful things to do with exiled cards. Maybe another like 5 or 6 drop. Just a little more power, but yeah, overall pretty fine. I mean, opponent's deck seems to prove, green is not completely unplayable. I've had pretty good success with the black-green decks. With Catacomb Sifter. So, yeah, congrats to the opponent. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Maybe learned something, and I'll see you next time.